Greetings and welcome back to A Wolf Uncaged. We are beginning yet another chit-chat about Seth Speaks, the nature of personal reality. This is the beginning of chapter 4, and this is still a chit-chat about our part 18. Let's begin. Consider this. When you were born, you inherited not just your father's eyes or your mother's smile, you also inherited their thoughts. Not through blood alone, but through words, through gestures, through the silent currents of telepathy that flow between parent and child. Before you could even form sentences, you were absorbing a worldview. You were not, you were given not only a family name, but a family lens, a way of seeing reality. And this, more than any material inheritance, has shaped the course of your life, your entire life. A child is like a field, freshly tilled, wide open to receive seed. Into that fertile soil, parents drop beliefs like, this is safe, this is dangerous, this is good, this is bad. Some of these seeds are protective. They keep the child from wandering into fire, from straying into traffic, from touching the thorn. But other seeds are born of anxiety. A mother who imagines disaster at every corner plants seeds of fear. A father who believes the world is cruel plants seeds of suspicion. The child, trusting, does not question. It simply grows what is planted. Seth reminds us, your conscious mind, tethered to the physical brain, requires orientation in this physical world. So the child must be trained. The child must be given boundaries, handed down beliefs to ensure survival. And so beliefs are passed down sort of like heirlooms. Some are practical tools, like fire burns, like water drowns. Others are heavy relics. We are guilty. We as a family are unworthy. Discipline comes only through punishment. The child inherits all of it, the precious and the poisonous alike. Among the most enduring inheritances is guilt. Guilt. Generations pass it down like a family jewel, polished through centuries of religion, of culture. Parents do not always intend to harm. They believe, often sincerely, that guilt produces virtue, that without punishment, the world would collapse into chaos. And so guilt is gifted as discipline. Guilt is gifted as morality, as a supposed inner compass. Yet, its true weight is corrosive. It does not build strength. It erodes freedom. You may discard the obvious relics, original sin perhaps, or the literal fear of eternal punishment, but the residue remains. You may laugh at old doctrines, yet still act from the belief that you are undeserving, still live as if burdened by invisible crimes. This is inheritance at its most subtle. Not the doctrine itself, but the emotional pattern that it leaves behind. I want you to understand that this inheritance is given not only through words, it is also absorbed through silent transmission. A nervous mother, seeing danger in every stumble, passes on not just warnings, but a vibration of fear. The child, attuned like a radio, receives it and begins to imagine disaster at every step. A father stern and quiet may never say life is hard, but through his bearing, through his sighs, his silences, the child feels the weight of that belief and takes it as truth. Beliefs travel not just through speech, but through tone, through gesture, through atmosphere, and even, as Seth insists, through telepathy itself. And yet, here is the strange thing. These inheritances are rarely hidden. They are not locked in some distant vault. They sit in plain sight, on the shelves of your conscious mind, like old heirlooms gathering dust. You may not think to examine them because you assume that they are part of the furniture. That's just how life is. But look again. How many of your present struggles are not rooted in events, but in beliefs? Not in what happened, but in the idea you inherited about what it means. We are haunted not by ghosts of the past, but by unexamined heirlooms we carry forward unquestioned. Now comes the crucial revelation. You need not remain bound to this inheritance. To honor your parents does not mean to live forever by their beliefs. No. To love your lineage does not mean you have to carry its fears. The scaffolding they gave you was once necessary, but it was never meant to define the entire house of your life. You are free to choose which heirlooms to keep and which to release. You may thank guilt for its lessons and then set it down. You may acknowledge fear for its protection and then outgrow it. For underneath all inheritance lies something untouched. Your own identity, your own purpose, your own eternal knowing. This is not given by parents. It is indelibly yours. So, pause with me. Pause with me and ask yourself, what have I inherited? Which thoughts are truly mine and which are echoes of voices long gone? Which emotions are fresh and which are patterns repeating across generations? The inheritance of thought is powerful, but remember, it is an inheritance, not a sentence. You may choose which gifts to carry forward and which to lay aside. In doing so, you set free not only yourself, but also your children and your children's children. For the moment you awaken, the cycle begins to change. And so the greatest gift you can give your lineage is this: to examine your beliefs, to free your imagination, and to live not as an echo of the past, but as the author of a new inheritance. This marks the end of this chit chat of Seth Speaks, the nature of personal reality. This was the beginning of chapter 4 and a chit chat about our part 18. What did you think about this particular passage? Please leave it in the comments below. And as always, I am Tony Victory, a wolf uncaged. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And until the next time, actually, we have one more part in this series, so stay tuned. Peace. If you found something in this video that sparked a thought, shifted your perspective, or just made you feel more grounded, consider showing some love by buying me a coffee. It helps fuel the channel, keeps the uploads coming, and lets me know that the content matters to you. The link's right below in the description or on my channel banner. No pressure, just appreciation if you're moved to support. And as always, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. I am Tony Victory, a wolf uncaged. Thank you. Peace.